how's it going, guys? Stonewall here with Raised by Sharks. Today I'm going to be giving you a heavy bowgun guide. So heavy bowgun has a lot more to it than with regular Blade Master weapons, especially when it comes to picking the weapon. So unlike with a Blade Master weapon, where you just look at the actual damage and status values of the weapon, with the guns you're going to look at the third page where it shows you the ammo types. Now the ammo types can make or break a gun. I personally believe that slicing, sticky, and cluster are absolutely essential to a gun. Personally, I like at least one status. That's why I went with the Kadachi Lion 3 as my endgame heavy bowgun. It takes a lot of grinding to get. It's very obnoxious because you need a lot of the same materials over and over. But it does have that sticky level 2, cluster level 2, force slicing, and it has wyvern fire, paralysis, and sleep. So it had all of the ammo types that I like to bring on a hunt with me, and it's also got some pretty good stats to boot, so that's what I went with. Also, you have these mods over here. I'm going to show you that in 1 second. So the way mods work is you go to customize bowgun, and you click on the gun that you want to upgrade, and then you can select from any of these mods. A shield puts a shield on the front of your gun, very obvious, but it can deflect or block some of the damage being dealt to you. Also, range attack ups your damage from further ranges, close range from close range, obviously. Deviation suppressor, basically, your ammo could sometimes like shank left or right. That'll reduce that. This gun has no deviation. Reload assist speeds up reloading, and recoil reduces recoil. Before we get into the controls of heavy bowgun and then eventually show you gameplay, I wanted to show you one more thing. If you go to your crafting list and then go over to the gunner ammo, these are how you're going to make your ammo. So some of it they'll give you on quests and you'll build up a supply of and you could buy, but the rest of it you're going to have to craft here by picking up these materials out in the wild. You can also hit triangle to turn on the auto crafting, so as soon as you pick up that ammo material, it'll craft for you and you'll just have an endless supply of it. Okay, so now we're going to get onto the controls for heavy bowgun. The controls are actually fairly simple. You press right trigger to pull it out. Now from there, left trigger aims, right trigger fires. Heavy bowgun can also be blind fired, where you just press right trigger. To reload, you press triangle. It'll reload. Different ammo types have different reload times, and also some of them allow you to keep moving while you're reloading, whereas others you'll actually have to stop, put the gun down, and reload it like that. Now, circle will allow you to load special ammo. There's different types. The type I have is wyvern snipe, where holding left trigger puts you down on the ground, and right trigger fires. It basically fires a piercing style shot, where the longer the monster is, the more damage it'll do, because it'll do ticks of the original damage and then explode. There's also wyvern heart, where you basically put down a machine gun when you hit circle and just fire off multiple shots. I personally prefer wyvern snipe because it deals more damage in my opinion, and also does KO damage, so if you can hit them in the head with it, going from head to tail, you can actually knock them out and they'll be on the ground all stunned, where you can deal a lot more damage, especially getting some of those cluster shots. Now, to change your ammo, you hold down left bumper the same way you would to cycle through your items, except instead of circle and square, you hit triangle and X to cycle through. All the ammos have different effects, different damages. For instance, slicing is great for breaking parts. It hits once, and then it starts going off with a bunch of ticks of damage. Cluster being extremely powerful. Now, every ammo type has a critical distance. So, you see how the crosshair is orange and glowing like that? It's letting me know that I'm in the correct distance for this ammo. See the difference between this crosshair when I'm aiming at that barrel closer to me and the big log back there? The big log is letting me know I'm too far. As I get closer, you'll see it shows up, letting me know I'm in the proper distance to deal the optimal damage. Getting too close can also reduce your damage with certain ammo types. Pierce has a good medium range, whereas spread is like a shotgun. You have to be very close. See how close you have to get to be in that optimal range? Certain ammo types it'll also just straight up say out of range, like wyvern ammo, where you have to be very close, and then you tap right trigger and it charges up for one big explosion of massive damage. While it doesn't suit heavy bowgun the best, you can be supportive with heavy bowgun by using demon, armor, and healing ammo, although that role is best suited for light bowgun. You can never run out of ammo because normal ammo 1 has an infinite amount. Okay, and now when you're done with your gun, you can press square or sprint to put it away. Also, while your gun is out, triangle and circle does a melee attack. If you do a melee attack while jumping, you can do a mounting attack, and you actually can mount a monster with a heavy bowgun. Okay, and now here's some heavy bowgun gameplay to give you a feel of how it plays out and its role in a multiplayer hunt. For starters, I like to put down the heal booster right where I plan to do some gunning, so that way while I'm sitting here it can heal me up. So these slicing shots, watch how much damage it'll do. See all those ticks? As a gunner, dodge roll is going to be your best friend. You're going to want to be careful when using spread ammo or cluster ammo around teammates, because spread and cluster can trip or even launch your teammates out of the way, which can be very frustrating if you're a blade master about to unleash like a greatsword charge and you get launched or tripped up by a gunner. Okay, and here's wyvern snipe in action. All the ticks of damage and the explosions. See how it made Lavasioth flinch? Devastatingly strong cluster bombs. Doing some Michael Bay explosions and massive amounts of damage over there. Also have elemental ammos of every type. So for instance, right now with me I have thunder ammo because I was actually out of ammo for the other types. I need to go gather up some materials for it. But thunder seems to be doing okay against Lavasioth. Sticky ammo is going to just stick to the target and then after a short amount of time explode on them, dealing a little bit of damage. It's basically just a weaker in-between version of slicing and cluster. Now I'm going to show you some of the statuses. I'm going to show you the paralysis first. Okay, so now after hitting enough of the paralysis shots, it completely immobilizes the target for your team to go in and do damage, or for you to reload, get off some cluster shots. See, I see a lot of my teammates on the far side, so I'm going to shoot my cluster ammo to the near side of me to deal all the damage, but not mess up my teammates. Pierce can be very powerful. Heavy bowgun deals exceptional damage. Its role in a team is usually to just be the massive DPS doer and part breaker. You can especially break those parts that are hard for a blade master to hit. For example, if you have a team of dual blade and sword and shield, it might be a little hard for them to break a Diablo's horn, whereas you can hit him in the face with sticky ammo all you want. So that blue bar above your ammo gauge is your special ammo. You're going to want to use that every time it fills up because it's immensely powerful and you don't want to be wasting charge time because it recharges over time. So if you're not using it, you're basically just wasting potential DPS. Also, when out of ammo, just hit right trigger again to auto reload. And there you go, guys. That's a heavy bowgun guide from Raised by Sharks. If you want, we have other weapon tutorials. You should give them a look if you're new to the game. And if you have any questions or comments, throw them down below. Thank you for watching Raised by Sharks. Remember to like and subscribe.